What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, Lobaggers? Happy Wednesday, August 11th to all of you. Thank you for watching Betting with the Bag right here on Pub Sports Radio. A very frustrating day for me yesterday. Frustrating. Didn't pull the trigger with you guys on the Tigers. It didn't go against you guys, but that was just a gift. There was a couple gifts that I didn't sit back and receive. And I'm frustrated, but I'm ready to attack this card. I put in a ton of time into this card, and I'm ready to fire away. All in all, the run in the fifth inning that cost me the Reds' first five. Well, it didn't cost me. It gave me a push. I guess it was the bottom of the fourth, really. It was irritating. But I was fortunate to push the Royals' first five. I thought the Royals' first five was a better bet than the Royals' full game. Pete cashed the Royals' first game to a big score. I was actually, fortunate to go 0-2 yesterday. The Athletics' first 5 -1/2 was a loss. Minaya pitched poorly, but they won the game outright. Frustrating. And I lost Rockies' first 5 going up against Ron Crawford's spreadsheet play today. Sort of. I was on the first 5 Rockies. He was on the full game Astros. Was a mistake. But I was lucky that the Washington Mets game got rained into a void suspended game, because that was the first 5 under 4.5 was not looking good. So, I guess I was sort of fortunate to go 0-2. But that doesn't stop my seething anger. And I can take it out on Jose. So I can bottle it all up. I can hold it in. And Jose's spot doesn't come till very late in the show. So for the next hour and 40 minutes, I can bottle up all this fucking anger and take it out on Jose. Fucking frustrating. Being back-to-back Tuesdays, extremely frustrating. I'm fucking angry. Okay, you know what? I need this. Let's just bring on Jose right now and yell at him. Why don't we do that? Let's bring Jose on right now and yell at him. Jose, can you get the stats off the screen? Jesus, Jose, do you just roll out of bed here? Or do you care at all about this show? And where are you? Where are you shooting this from?
I'm at my girlfriend's house. My parents kicked me out, like I said, because they have friends over.
Oh, God.
I'm sorry. I'm not supposed to be laughing.
You're not. So you're at Helga's house.
I am at Helga's house, yes. Helga went to work, so I just get to
walk
around.
Of course.
Yeah, I get to walk around. Yeah.
You're just leaving your wallet at baseball games.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus, thank God for Helga. And thank God. Is there anybody in the house right now? Are Helga's parents there?
They're yeah, they are here, yes. And her little brother and Molly the dog is also here with me. And
do they love this, you rolling out of bed and supposedly doing your job from her bedroom?
They probably hate it. They probably absolutely hate that this fucking dumbass with the mustache is dating their girlfriend or their daughter, but whatever.
Look, Jose, I don't want to bother our fans, our friends and family who are on the show. And I know not all of them like the yelling, so I'm going to move the mic a little bit away here, just so it's too horrifying here. Jose, I need you to take this shit seriously. Do you want your job? Do you even want your job?
Yes. Very much so.
Congratulations on your victory.
Thank you.
Have a good show today. You put together a god winner for my friends and family. Is that right? Are you going to do that?
Yes, absolutely. Not even a doubt in my mind.
All right. That was my producer on the ones and twos, Jose. I pulled out an old hat to see if it can get me out of the funk. This is the Asahi baseball team, Japanese baseball team from Vancouver that was highly prolific before Pearl Harbor, and we sent these excellent baseball players to internment camps. We took their houses, took all their stuff. Horrible. Canada has a horrifying history in the last 150 years. Don't think it's all America's horrifying history, because it's not. Our country's done some horrifying shit. God, maybe I should bring Jose back and yell at him for a second. I've just got all this pent-up aggression. Jose, can you come back on for a second? Jose, you're going to give us a winner!
Yes. Absolutely. I'm not even worried, Jimmy. My palms, look at them. Dry as shit. Not even nervous.
Yeah, they look cracked and horrifying. You touch Helga with those hands?
Well, actually, my hands are fucking baby soft manicured. You think I've had a hard day of work in my fucking life, Jimmy? Come on.
All right, Jose. That's enough. Let's get back to work. Shout out to everybody joining us. I'm frustrated. I'm fucking frustrated, man. Dog days of summer. We have one sport to focus on, and I'm not beating it. I mean, I'm beating it overall, but not beating it of late. Last week and a half has been extremely frustrating. After an 0-2 day, down 2.20 units, we have 242 wins, 208 losses, hitting at 53.8%, plus 8.30 units, ROI plus 1.84%, average line minus 111. Taint and Dirty K looking to bounce back today, and Rusty Kuntz. I don't think we've had a day where all three have missed. I believe we haven't had a day where all three have missed ever. Ron Crawford, spreadsheet play of the day, catching fire, 10-3, now hitting at 76.9% on the show, and garnering people's attention. Let's give a shout out to everybody. Thank you guys for joining us. Raymond Reddington, ready to get to work. Play the White Sox first 5 minus, a half a minus 122. Look, I get it. I took a long look at it. I get it. R liking that spot. Real Deal Prime in the house. Sammy Culmer says chalk, but my play day White Sox minus 1.5 and Astros minus 1.5. I get it. I've made 3 bets so far, and I like them, but God. All right. R says college football coming very soon. Alex Sean says Mariners cost me so much money last night not being able to score with bases loaded 0, 1, 2, 3. This web. It's extremely irritating when that happens. Extremely irritating when that happens. Christopher Comentini house. There's Matty Ice. Start a taint play today. Puzzler ready to go. Slatsy says, hope you jumped on the Tigers bandwagon. Sweet 4-1 night. Looking for a way to bet the Jays today, but man, is it juiced. Hit with Jose on the Dodgers, and I think I was worried. Why would you be worried with old soft palms over there? LJ from H-Town, 4-1 yesterday. Hit Arizona plus 1.5. Nice job, LJ. Walla Walla Dose, Morgan Spooner, Brian Watson. Turnsy says the Mariners are dead to me. I stayed off the Mariners. I stayed off some spots that could have hurt me. I don't know. I'm just frustrated. My quantity of action's gone down, and I think that will help in the long run. But what it's doing right now is making me extremely frustrated. Nasty Nate ready to get paid. Joshua Kikalaya ready to go. Nathaniel Montoya, Rich G. Teron Hopkins in the house. Teron, I wanted your son's birthday pick to cash so badly. And God, Teron, but much love to you. And I hope you guys had a great, great, great birthday celebration. All right, Max Swelly ready to go. Okay, we got to get to work. Rich G says Diamondbacks Giants full game over was a gift. You were absolutely right, Rich G. I just, God, it's so fucking frustrating. Von Polo says take Detroit today, take Baltimore Ravens Monday. Oh, yeah, we know what the Ravens do in preseason. Win. Okay, Ilya Katz ready to go. Let's eat. Alex Hills, thank you guys all so much for joining us. Nasty Nate says release the Kraken. I don't want to do that because I'm really frustrated and angry. That Thursday was the beginning of, and we turned it around, that booze-fueled Thursday last week. But now I'm angry, and it's not very good for me to mix booze when I'm angry. Although Kraken is a mysterious beverage that puts a big smile on my face. All right, okay, we got to get to work. Jeff Slaughter now says, Jose. Oh, yeah, okay. All right. Sorry. Okay. Let's just keep rolling. Let's keep rolling along. Leroy Flood says, get him, Jimmy. Let's go. Okay. We got a lot of work to do. We have a ton of work to do. And Morgan Spooner says, guys, hop on this Cubs bandwagon. Bet the opposing pitchers K-line minus 1 or 2 in their money line. Cashed again last night. 11 straight games. Opposing pitchers have hit their K-prop. That's so big. There's Birdie ready to get to work. Dommy Gun has locked in Twins first 5 under 4.5 and Phillies first 5 plus 115. I've got Phillies first 5 plus 115 as well. I've got it as well. TJ play of the day is 5-0. Play the Arizona, San Francisco over 7.5 at minus 120. All right, let me copy and paste, make sure we got everything in. Oh, we got the brown-eyed play of the day from Craig Wood. Okay, we got a lot of play of the days coming in. Let me copy and paste them all so we have them ready. If I miss anything, Jose will let me know, and anybody in the chat, just let me know if I miss, because we have 15 games, and I'm going to beat the shit out of this card. I'm going to make moves. I'm not going to hesitate like a little bitch. I'm going to make moves today. So we got TJ's. Oops, shit. Sorry, paste. We go. We got TJ's play of the day in. The brown eye play of the day. Man. Lucky Power in the house. Jake Kaiser, Michael Irvelina, Ron Crawford. Spreadsheet play of the day is in. Okay, Taint play of the day is in. Okay, and look, spreadsheet play of the day, Taint play of the day, correlated. Okay, lots of action coming in here. Lots of action. Okay, so I'm going to Dommy Gun. I'm going to make sure I got Dommy Gun's action in here, and then we will then go break down the card. We have to win today. Have to. Have to. Where was that brown-eyed play? Craig Woods, brown-eyed play today. Astros first 5, team total over 2.5. Brown eye. One of my favorite words for asshole is brown eye. I mean bottom mouth. Hard to beat bottom mouth. Hard to beat prison pocket. Hard to beat chocolate starfish. I do think brown eye beats chocolate starfish. And when I use the term brown eye in public, it's extremely enjoyable. Bottom mouth is probably my favorite because it takes people a second to realize what I'm talking about. You know, one thing I love doing is when I'm, sort of frustrated with an old woman, who's, when you're at a retail shop or something and she's, not being very friendly. This is a go-to, and you guys should use this as well. It really takes a lot of the anger from a day away. So I say, you know what, sir? I'm not in the mood for this. And stare them in the face, looking them in the eyes while they look you back in the eyes and realize they must look like a man. Okay, let's get to work. Piker in the house. Maxwell Smart ready to go. Okay, let's get to work. Let's get to work right now. No, Craig Wood, I feel you. I don't think you're overselling that spot either. I've got Sensatella's home and road splits right here. I've beaten them up. Let's get to work right now. We start at 1:10 p.m. Eastern. 1:10 p.m. Eastern. Chicago White Sox 67-47 at Minnesota Twins 49-65, 25-31 at home. And we have reached two huge spots here. We have reached the spreadsheet play of the day, White Sox -1 and -144, and the taint play of the day, White Sox run line -115. That's how we're getting the day started. We're getting the day started by yelling at Jose and by cheering on. That takes some of the pain away. I'm frustrated. I bet you can tell I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated. Fucking frustrated. Cole of Corleone, Vegas King in the house. All right, so we got some heavy hitters backing the Chicago White Sox at Target Field, Minneapolis, Minnesota. 81 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 11 miles per hour out to right field. Yesterday I stayed off the White Sox. I stayed off the Mariners. But what does it matter? Why didn't I jump on the Tigers? As Rich G said, that over in the Giants Diamondbacks game was a gift. I didn't move on it. So it's what the fuck? God damn! Lance Lynn is on the bump. The Bulldog, the big-titted Bulldog. 10-3, 2.04 ERA, 1.05 WHIP, 114 2/3, 130 Ks, 35 walks, 10 home runs. His last start was a good one. We remember it. We broke it down on the show. I was still nervous about taking the first 5 under. The wind was blowing out heavy, and it was him against Kyle Hendricks. They both pitched very well. The bullpens fell apart, and game soared over late. Last start, 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, no homers, 2 walks, 8 Ks, and 8-6 extra inning win at the Cubs. Going up against Bailey Ober, 4.99 ERA, 1.30 WHIP, 52 1/3, 56 Ks, 15 walks, and 13 home runs. Last start, he went 5 innings, 7 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 homers, 1 walk, 5 Ks, in a 5-4 extra inning win at the Astros. The Tigers versus righties, last 30 days, just 226, 747 OPS. The Twins versus righties. The Twins are hitting righties harder than the White Sox last 30 days, 250, 759 OPS. The Twins bullpen has improved slightly, and the White Sox bullpen is middling, like it has been all year. 4.25 ERA, 1.10 whip over the last 30 days. Twins bullpen, 4.92 ERA, 1.32 whip over the last 30 days. Logan Collins in the house says, White Sox easy money here. White Sox easy money here. Logan Collins, huge, spectacular work yesterday. Piker says Lance Lynn is a road warrior, also better on the road, especially late. I support the -1 play here. Yes, and he's also slightly better in the daytime than he is at night. Billy Pilgrim says 5th time the Sox have seen Ober. So let's take a look at what the market is doing in this spot. Here we go. We have the White Sox opening up at -169. They're now at -174. Very, very peculiar. So I thought about joining you guys, and I checked out what that -1 was about, 2 hours ago. And it was a -180 and -120. So it worked out to I can't remember if it was -159 or -156. And then I was watching. So then it goes up to -185. So money coming in on the White Sox. And now it got up to -186. So between 9:44 a.m. and 9:59 a.m., there was an 18-cent move on the Minnesota Twins. At that point, it goes down to -168, and money's trickling back in on the White Sox. But a very interesting move. Very. So let's go over this spot with the baseball data here. Baseball data. We have Lynn against these Twinkies. They're hitting 245 with a 750 OPS. Ober versus these White Sox. They're hitting 250 with a 1.00 OPS. Abreu 3 for 7. Moncada 3 for 8. But Tim Anderson just 1 for 11. Larry Garcia 1 for 6. Now let's go check out the money. Here we go with the cash flow in this spot. We have 2,219 tickets in. We have 93% of the tickets, but 77% of cash on the White Sox. Then we have 64% of the tickets on the over and just 11% of the cash on the over. A Red Girl, White Sox, and first 5 under. Logan Collins going Twins, team total under 2.5, first 5 -125. There's Guillermo Zertucci in the house. Piker says fluctuations aside, this opened at -170, has landed at -185, so it's directionally sound overall, no market red flags. It's not -185 right now. I don't think it's a red flag, but it's -174. You would expect more than a 5-cent move. You would expect more than a 5-cent move. I think that comes down to that. Sharpie says this line is often fishy. Should be -220 or better. I've seen Gilbert Heaney's -200 favorites this week. Now Lynn -174. Not right here. TJ says 11% of cash on the over. Watch out, Chicago White Sox bettors. Big Show picks in the house. Thank you for your support. Rich G says heavy fades are starting to separate themselves from the field. Robert and Jimenez are different makers in this White Sox lineup. I agree. Eric Jones in the house, ready to get to work. Kenny V says Chicago's red-hot offense will also have a premium matchup against struggling rookie starter and Twins bullpen that currently ranks in the bottom third of the MLB with a 4.44 FIP this season. All right. Maxwell Smart took White Sox team total over and Eloy Jimenez over 1.5 bases. Sammy Comer says look ahead to the Yankees tomorrow. Still not worried, though. Yes, Piker, that's exact. Oh, no, I have. Oh, yeah, -161. Why do I have -169 there? Just go over here for a sec. Thank you for that. I had -169, but you're right. -161 opener. So 13-cent move. But you would expect more. You would expect a bigger move, wouldn't you? All right. I get it. Look, I get it. I get why you guys are all on White Sox -1. In fact, even though the White Sox bullpen is better, I think I'd probably prefer to focus on attacking Bailey Ober. And again, the Bet365, picking and choosing which games to give you first 5 run lines on. The first 3 run lines minus a half at minus 105. The first 4.5 run lines minus 1.5 at plus 120. They're really raking you over the coals in this game. Rich G says Lynn 4-1 his last 5 starts, allowing 1 earned run in 4 of those starts. Razor sharp picks in the house. Quinn has a big parlay today. White Sox, Astros, Blue Jays, Giants, Brewers, Dodgers. Nate Dogg says, will White Sox be taking the Field of Dreams tomorrow? Sharpie says, I agree with all the White Sox stats and Twin stats saying they suck. So why only minus 174? The pimp slap play of the day is the first 5 under in the White Sox game. And our guy, Big Show Picks, saying if you really want to help out Pub Sports, go check out some of the swag. Absolutely. All right, and Birdie has a parlay of the day, so I'm going to just copy and paste this. I'm not going to move on this at this point. Yes, it's a Cinnabon night. I will be there right with you, Razor, on the horse racing show tonight as soon as I get the kids to sleep. And it'll be easier to get them asleep if I'm not losing my fucking mind. Sorry, here we go. Copy. We just get these in. Okay, so I'm going to move past this game right now. And with no plan at this point, I just find it very expensive. The fact that Bet365 is not giving you a first 5 run line tells me it's the right spot. You know, do I want to take a first 3 minus a half of minus 105? The first 7 minus a half is minus 140. I do think the Twins are a tricky dog right now. No pressure on them, and they can hit, but can they hit? Can they hit? Lynn is a huge, huge part of this. And Tron Hopkins. Give me my props. Nets +1 NBA Summer League for our guy, Tron. All right. All right, let's move on. Let's move on. I can understand why you guys are all on the White Sox here. And I'm not sure at this point how exactly to join you. And here we go. Huge news from Wyatt Chapman. Freddie Freeman confirmed out with COVID. Freddie Freeman confirmed out with COVID. That's huge. Okay, we're going to move on to 2:10 p.m. Eastern. Colorado. Oh, but in saying that, do I want to stay off of the spreadsheet play today and the taint play today? Because that's what's going on in the White Sox spot. Taint play today and the spreadsheet play today. Taint on the run line at minus 115 and spreadsheet on the -1. So let's give one more shout out to the taint play of the day. And with Ron Crawford running the way he is, there could be spreadsheet play of the day graphics soon. All right, we move on to 2:10 p.m. Eastern. Colorado Rockies 51-62, 13-41 on the road at Houston Astros 67-46, 36-23 at home. We're at Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas. Roof closed. Antonio Senzatella on the bump for the Rockies. 2-8, 4.73 ERA, 1.41 WHIP, 99 innings, 71 Ks, 22 walks, 9 home runs. His last start was ugly. 4 2/3, 7 hits, 4 earned runs, no homers, 1 walk, 6 Ks, and a 6-5 win at home versus the Cubs. His splits are very interesting. At home, in the thin air, he's 2-3 with a 4.04 ERA. Opponents hitting 274 against him. On the road, 0-5, 6.03 ERA, 333 opponents batting average. Oh, look, I'm not going to fade. There's no way I would Piker. So Piker's saying fading a Ron and taint correlation seems like something Jose would do. I don't think Jose. But Jose's not afraid, man. And Jose's streaky capper. I think he gets hot here. But I would never go against them ever. So I would never walk into that ball of fire. But in saying that, I'm not sure if I'm going to move on them. All right. Viper says, I'm just going to parlay White Sox and Astros and call it a day. All right. Come on, Turnsey. We believe in you, Turnsey. We believe in you. Okay, so there's Senzatella. Now we get Framber Valdez. Framber Valdez, now, obviously, with the Twins, what's affecting me is a bias from what happened in Framber Valdez's last start. I had Framber Valdez. It was a terrible bet. It was my only loss on Thursday. It was a terrible bet. I thought the Astros were going to run roughshod over the Twinkies. He went 6 2/3. He allowed 6 hits, 4 earned runs, 3 walks, 7 Ks, and 5-3 loss at home versus the Twins. The Rockies are still hitting lefties very hard over the last 30 days. 261 average, 807 OPS. Astros versus righties, 252, 774 OPS. Yenny Toon in the house. Soupy Panty says, I think Astros get runs here and Rockies get a few, like the over. Like the over. And Astros versus righties, 252, 774. Rockies bullpen last 30 days getting worse and worse by the second. 5.71 ERA, 1.42 whip. And the Astros bullpen being very good. 3.53 ERA, 1.30 whip. Okay, so let's take a look at the market here in this spot. We have this total opened up at 9, juice to the over slightly at minus 109. It's now minus 108, so a 1 cent move to the under. Valdez opens up at 239, minus 239, and the Astros and Valdez are now minus 256, so a 17-cent move towards the Houston Astros. So let's take a look here. We have 2,194 tickets in. Not a lot of tickets in at this point in MLB. Let's see if I can refresh and get more. No, not a lot. 2,194 tickets in. 87% of the tickets, 95% of the cash on the Astros. 37% of the tickets, 92% of the cash on the under. PG 00187 says went under last 3 games. Ross Pitts in the house. Valdez, 6 walks per 9 in the last 6 starts. 317 BABIP, getting lucky with runners on bases. And Big Daddy Boom, Blue Jays play of the day, minus 1.5 and minus 120. Let's take a look at the baseball data here, but TJ giving us excellent statistics. Let's take a look at the baseball data here. Okay, so Senzatella has only faced 4 Astros batters. They're 0 for 12 against them. Very small sample size. We shouldn't dig too deep into that, but it helps. Brantley 0 for 3, Tucker 0 for 3, Maldonado 0 for 3, Altuve 0 for 3. Against Framber Valdez, these Rockies are hitting 125 with a 410 OPS. Again, very small sample size, 16 at-bats. Very small sample size. You know, it's a huge price to pay, and I don't want to pay it. Valdez's last start looked bad. I watched it with seething anger. And but look, Senzatella I don't trust on the road. So then where would that take you? So that would make you say, well, why don't you make a move on the over? And then we see 92% of cash on the under. So things just do not add up and they do not correlate here. Arthur Meade Jr. in the house. Been a while since we've seen you. So at this point, there's no move for me. No move for me. The Astros tick off a lot of the boxes. Their bullpen has been much better than the Rockies bullpen over the last 30 days. They're hitting well enough against righties. What doesn't correlate for such a big favorite, and I'm not saying they're not going to take care and win this game, but Framber Valdez did not look good in his last start. We had stats to break it down from TJ. And then we have these Rockies smashing lefties. So TJ says first 5 over. So we know that the full game has gone to the under. Why don't we just take a look at the first 5 that TJ's looking at right now? And then we can move on to the next spot on the card. Thank you guys for joining us here at Pub Sports Radio. Here we go. The Rockies Astros spot opened at 5 at minus 103. Hasn't moved. Why don't we check out Bet Online? They get their first 5s out early. So Bet Online opened it at 4.5 at 7:35 in the morning. Now it's at 5. Pinnacle opened it up at 5 at 5:40 yesterday. At 11 at night, it dropped to 4.5. And it stayed there until 8:52 this morning when it's back at 5. Well, I should have attacked it at 4.5 if that's where I wanted to. Viper says total's gone over in 6 of Colorado's last 8 games on the road. And there's Juan Ruiz, OG Lowbagger. And Sam Coleman says Lance Lynn is not pitching. Sharpie says Lynn taking out of the White Sox game. Wow. Huge news. Huge news. I hope you guys pick listed pitchers must start at least for the White Sox. Holy shit. Huge move. I wonder if Ron and Maddie are going to come back with another spot. Wow. This just in, Lance Lynn pulled from his start. Wow. And Logan said, yeah, Lynn might not be pitching, wants to pitch a Field of Dreams. Wow, Logan Collins. Wow, great stuff from everybody. Holy shit. Okay. Rodney Martin says, glad I didn't put that bet in yet. Logan, sorry, I missed that. But I do definitely keep an eye out for your action. Holy. All right. Wow. Okay, so let's and Chris one says don't matter, Sox still smack. Ooh-wee. Uncool 22 says Vegas made a call to the White Sox. All right, wild turn of events here. Ooh-wee. Okay, we're going to move on to my first bet of the day. 2:10 p.m. New York Yankees 62-51, 30-26 on the road at the Kansas City Royals 49-63, 29-26 at home. We're at Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri. I'm on the first 5 over 5 and Lance Lynn COVID? Ronaldo Lopez. Oh, Ronaldo Lopez. God, I have nightmares of betting on Ronaldo Lopez. But I'm not saying he's going to have a terrible start here. I don't have the information here. Holy shit. Okay, so let's go. Yankees, Royals. Arthur Meade Jr. says, I like the Yankees. I get it. I think Brady Singer is very vulnerable. But I don't know how much I trust the Yankees on a bullpen day, and that's why I went into the first 5 over 5.5. I wish I could have got the full game over, but it was at 10.5, and it was slightly juiced to the under. Let's see if that's changed first and foremost. So here we go. Full game, money lines and totals. Yankees, Royals. Yankees open up at minus 127 and now minus 133. And there has been a 5-cent move to the under 10.5. A 5-cent move to the under 10.5. Christopher Commentini asking if Rizzo's back. I don't think Rizzo will be back for a minute here. Deacon Mike says betting over 2.5 home runs in the New York Kansas City game. Wind ripping out. Over 2.5 cash yesterday also. And Viper says total's gone over in 9 in New York City's last 10 games when playing in Kansas City. Okay, so let's break this out. 93 Fahrenheit, humid, hot, and 16 miles per hour out to center, just like Deacon says. Then we have Lucas Licky. 4-2, 2.75 ERA, 1.17 whip, 52 and a third, 60 Ks, 9 walks, 5 home runs as an opener. In his last appearance, it wasn't very good. It was one inning, 2 hits, 2 runs, none earned, 1 walk, 2 Ks, and 2-0 loss at home. Brady Singer on the other side, he has not been good. So he's been on the IL with a shoulder fatigue is what they call it. In 2 rehab starts with AAA Omaha, he allowed 7 runs on 4 2/3 innings. He's having a tough sophomore season. In 2018, he was picked 18th overall. Last year, he skipped AAA last year, goes right to the show, and he was really good. 4.06 ERA. He made us some cash down the stretch when they were big dogs. And yes, great point from Jose Rizzo, former cancer survivor, probably will take his time coming back from COVID. Yeah, he's not vaccinated as well, so we don't know how it's going to pass, how it's going to hammer out. Matty I says, Lynn out, new taint. And Crystal Warren says Lynn doesn't have COVID starting tomorrow's game. Thank you. Don Reach says, if you like the over Yanks first 5 correlates with Royals first 5. Yankees don't hit early. I've hit many first 5 unders where the full game goes over, example, Monday night. So let's go back to the issues with the Yankees here. And the last start that Brady Singer had was ugly. 2 innings, 8 hits, 7 earned runs, 8-4 loss at home versus the Orioles. He's 5.13 ERA, 1.55 whip on the season. He's not looked good. The Yankees have been struggling against righties, just 212, 657 OPS. 212, 657 OPS. And the Royals versus lefties were smashing them a little while ago. They're no longer smashing them. Last 30 days, 257, 754 OPS. The Royals bullpen, eye-opening improvement. 3.86 ERA, 1.14 whip over the last 30 days. Very, very good. And here it is, the new taint play of the day. Detroit, Baltimore, first 5 under 5.5. And we will see if we have a new spreadsheet play today from Ron Crawford as well. And Dommy says, I agree, Jim. The under today wouldn't be one of my plays today. First 5 over or nothing. Okay, and Crystal Warren says Carlos Rodon to 10-day IL. Okay, I'm going to pop this into this Detroit-Baltimore spot now for Matty Ice, who hits a very high percentage when he's dealing with his hometown Tigers. Okay, so we've talked about this spot. I'm on the first 5 over 5.5, and it is the strength of the Royals bullpen of late. And I know they got hammered by the Yankees, what Dom was saying on Monday night. All right. So, and spreadsheet play today is moved. Ron Crawford spreadsheet play today. Look, correlating, close, not almost correlating. Spreadsheet play today, Detroit minus 115 for Ron Crawford. Look at that. These guys moving, making moves on the fly. All right, that means we'll see Mia Khalifa again. All right, so here we go. First 5 over 5.5. Let's take a look at the baseball data against these two pitchers. They're hitting 300 with a 700 OPS, 3 for 10, but he's going to be in there for an inning. Against Brady Singer, these Yankees are hitting 412 with a 1.487 OPS. Now, small sample size, 7 for 17 with 3 homers, and it's Voit and Higashioka who've hit homers. God, that Higashioka homer yesterday just made me lose my shit. All right. And Mike M says now he's going to like the White Sox. I'm interested to see what the line is when it comes out. Brandon Lugo says Royals bullpen being used a lot. I like both overs, first 5 and full game. Okay, so let's take a look at the cash. And let's go over the market move one last time so I can remember it clearly. So we have a 5-cent move towards the Yankees and a 5-cent move towards the under 10.5. Let's take a look at where the cash lies in this spot. Now, let's not pay too much attention to it. Only 743 tickets in because it was undecided. So the early ticket count has Yankees 87% of the tickets and 71% of the cash. And then 46% of the tickets and 88% of cash on the under. Very low at this point. Okay, so, and Rich Deese is off the White Sox with the pitching change. Okay, so with all this said and done, I'm on the first 5 over 5.5 at minus 120. If the Yankees were hitting righties harder, I would be very interested in their team totals. It was my plan initially. And I'm not sold with the Yankees bullpen of late. Last 30 days, 4.09 ERA, 1.36 whip, dealing with some COVID issues. I'm not sold that they're going to be able to be excellent here. So I'm on the first, and Slatsy says Pinnacle's White Sox minus 152. Interesting. Thank you, Slatsy. First 5 over 5.5 at minus 120 is my first spot on the board. We move on to 4:10 p.m. Eastern. God, I can't wait to talk about this game with you guys. I was close to moving on the Marlins first 5, but the home and road splits of Sandy Alcantara kept me off of that. Maybe I move on it still. Then I was close to moving on the first 5 over, but I have not moved on it because the market was moving towards the under, and I thought, you know what, just don't bet anything yet. Talk it out with the Lobaggers. Let's get to work. Miami Marlins, San Diego Padres. This game pops off at 4:10 p.m. Eastern. The Marlins are 47-67, 20-40 on the road. At the Padres, 66-49, 40-23 at home. We're at Petco Park in San Diego, California. 79 Fahrenheit, clear, 9 miles per hour sideways. Alcantara, 6-10, 3.70 ERA, 1.17 WHIP. 136 in the third innings, 121 Ks, 41 walks, 15 home runs. His last start was abysmal. It was terrible. And it was at home. Oh, no, it was at Coors Field. Thank you. Sorry. It was abysmal. So that has inflated his road ERA and the opponent's batting average. He went 3 2/3, 10 hits, 10 earned runs, 3 homers, 2 walks, 1 K, and a 14-2 loss at the Rockies. So here we go. At home, 1-4, 2.58 ERA, 195 opponent's batting average. On the road, 5-6, 4.86 ERA, 267 opponent's batting average. Sharpie says Marlins are so bad versus left-handed pitching, second worst in the league. Freeland, Gomber just shut him out. Even Weathers with Spider Tack pitched his only good game versus Miami a few weeks back. Marlins versus lefties last 30 days, 229, 611 OPS. But Ryan Weathers, what do we do? I'm curious to hear what Mike M thinks about Ryan Weathers, because here he is with his third straight home start, and his last two have been terrible. His last start, 3 innings, 7 hits, 6 earned runs, 1 walk, 1 K, and 8-5 loss at home versus the Diamondbacks. He started out the year very hot. Feels like tape's out on him now. Padres versus righties last 30 days, 265, 785 OPS. Marlins bullpen slipping a little bit. Marlins bullpen 3.84 ERA, 1.29 WHIP. Padres bullpen 3 ERA, 1.24 WHIP. Okay. So what is your expectation of Weathers? And what is your expectation of Alcantara? Piker says Weathers learning how to pitch, so not someone I'm taking a run line with. Crystal Warren says Alcantara just bad on the West Coast. Okay, so let's bring up the market move here. This total opened up at 8.5. Juice to the under minus 112. It's now minus 111. So nothing there. The Padres opened up at minus 181. They're now minus 159. Very interesting 22-cent move towards the Padres. Let's go to first fives. First five, it opened at under 4.5 at minus 109. And now it's under 4.5 at minus 119. So a 10-cent move to the under. Sharpie says Weathers has been bad since Spider Tack. 3 pitches affected by spin rate. And he says, but Miami's shown they can't hit left-handed pitching. San Diego, nothing. Viper says the total's gone over in 5 of San Diego's last 6 games when playing at home versus Miami. Ross Pitt's looking at Marlins plus a half. Piker said I wouldn't look too deeply at anyone getting blown up in Colorado. Throw that out. He was coming off a gem versus Yankees going into that one. I think that's well put. There's Real Deal Prime in the house. Okay, so let's then pull up the baseball data. Against Alcantara, just 2 batters have faced him. They're 5 for 9 against him. Adam Frazier's 4 for 7 with a double and a homer. And there's Matty Ice saying that. 571 batting average. That was from Matty Ice already. And then against Weathers, 111 with a 444 OPS. But Sharpie already discussed that situation. And that was a simple situation where Spider Tack was being used. Laniel Land says can't fade San Diego. I would like to here. I would like to. Piker says I'm feeling first 5 frisky after already warning against fading the Padres. Someone stop me. So let's just take a look at what the market move has been on the first 5. Let's do that. We're going to go to Bet Online. They get their action out so early. So they opened their total at 4 and moved it to 4.5. Interesting. Did Pinnacle do that as well? Pinnacle opened theirs at 4.5, but moved it to 4 at midnight. It was at 4 for 8.5 hours and then back to 4.5. Huh. All right, let's go to money lines here and see what they've done here. I'm going to go to Bet Online. Where the hell are you? Okay, here we go. So the Marlins opened up at plus 135. They're now at plus 110. Well, I can't take them at that number. And let's just see what I would have to take them at. Bet 365. First fives. That is a surprising at plus 110. All right. Sharpie says this is the under first 5, what I'm hearing. San Diego pitchers ballpark. Miami can't hit left-handed pitchers. Small sample versus Alcantara. Damon Santori says, I like Miami first 5. Oh, Damon, come on. Don't talk anything like that. You're not. No such thing. Mark Schellenberg took Miami in the over. Nima, we will be breaking that down. But I tell you what. I've already bet it. I took the first 4.5, and I got a plus 115 on the minus a half on the Mariners. Give them 5 at-bats to my 4. Give me a plus line. I'm quite confident in the Mariners today. But I'm only taking them first 5 because I feel like that's my biggest edge. This Texas Rangers bullpen has been quite good of late. Okay, so Sharpies moving towards the under first 5. I guess I wish I could have got the Marlins at plus 125. I wish I could have gotten them at plus 125. I don't think I want them at plus 110. Piker says Bovada opened the first 5 at plus 130 and has dropped almost even. That's reassuring. Now, what I can do is what I did in the Royals game yesterday. When we were talking about the Royals' first 5, they were plus 125. There was a 20-cent move right around 12 or 1 o'clock down to plus 105. And I was like, look, I'm not going to take the Royals' first 5 at plus 105. I waited until 10 minutes before first pitch and got plus 115 because I knew the late money would come in on the Yankees, and the late money here will come in on the Padres. So I will see what I can get the Marlins first 5 at. I think Weathers is a real problem. Look at that. Schillingberg got Miami at plus 148 early this morning. Wow, it's a great line, Mark. Okay. Let's move. Did we go over where the cash lied? Sorry, the cash. No, we didn't. 1,298 tickets in. So not a lot of tickets have been processed right now at this point from Sports Insights. 62% of the tickets and 49% of the cash. Interesting. And then for the total, 53% of the cash, 53% of the tickets, 56% of the cash on the under. And Laniel Lance has got a double up to put a total of that first 5 parlay over. Texas no pushover. All right. And Domi says Vicen has Lopez pitching a minus 180. I think they just haven't updated it. The odds here. I would be. There's just no way that it wouldn't change, Dom. There's just no way. So I just think that will change. I think that's just the Lance Lynn number. Okay. And Nima says Marlins at plus 138 Nitrogen Sports. I still would prefer Marlins in the first 5. I'm afraid of this Padres lineup even without Tatis. The Padres are hitting 265, 785 OPS versus righties last 30 days. I want to cut the amount of game time down. I believe my advantage is Alcantara over Weathers, and the Padres bullpen's been very good. So, all right. We move on to my second bet of the day, and Dommy gun on the same look as me. I want this. I want this spot. I almost put it in early, and I was like, you know what? Just hold off. I wanted to see where the market was moving. Logan Collins says, I like the Padres still. And Brian Watson says, Sports Interaction voided all White Sox bets. Well, that was nice of them. Okay. Let's go on. Phillies first 5 at plus 115. Dodgers, Phillies. Dodgers are 68-45, 32-25 on the road. Phillies are 59-54, 34-22 at home. Citizens Bank Park, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. 90 Fahrenheit, humid, 8 miles per hour out to straightaway center. David Price, 4-1, 3.53 ERA, 1.37 whip, 51 innings, 46 Ks, 14 walks, 7 home runs. In his last start, he went 5 1/3. He allowed 4 hits, 2 earned runs, both solo shots, no walks, 4 Ks, and 4-3 extra inning loss. He pitched better than I expected. Better than I expected. Yeah, Dom, you know, at that, if they're going to give you the White Sox at minus 180 with Ronaldo Lopez on the mound, the same as it was, it is a mistake. It won't. So I would bet the Twins if your book or bookie would allow that bet. Now, I'm not saying the Twins are going to win. I'm just saying that you're getting probably a 30-cent advantage from a non-updated line. Okay. Yeah, so Dommy, that's the exact number across the board that you just gave us of what it was with Lance Lynn on the mound. So I really believe that's a spot where it just hasn't been updated yet, personally. So Brandon Lugo says bet online is minus 141. So there you're getting 39-cent advantage. Okay, so let's get back to work here. So Kyle Gibson on the other side gets his second straight home start after the trade. So gets a little bit of continuity, gets a little bit of comfort here. Last start was good at home versus the Mets. Now, I know the Mets aren't hitting, but he goes 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 4 walks, 3 Ks, and a 4-2 win at home. The Dodgers are hitting righties hard, 267, 809 OPS over the last 30 days, but not as hard as the Phillies, who are hitting lefties at a 258, 831 OPS mark over the last 30 days. The Dodgers bullpen, 3.69 ERA, 1.23 whip over the last 30. Phillies bullpen, 3.94 ERA, 1.52 whip. Let's go to the daily baseball data here. Against Price, these Phillies are hitting 275 with a 701 OPS. Not great. Not great. But I do think, and I know his velocity's gone up, but I do not think he's the stud that he was earlier. I mean, that's a simple thing to say. I don't know, who cares? Kyle Gibson, 271, 1.052 OPS against them. So, yes, those are bad numbers. But look, it's Mookie who's 8 for 20 against them. And he went to the IL, right? Mookie, that's official. He shouldn't be there, right? Mookie's went to the IL, right? With the hip. Okay, so May returned to the IL. So he hasn't officially returned to the IL. But he's not going to be in the lineup today. So let's take out Mookie's 8 for 20 against Kyle Gibson. 400 average, 1.305 OPS. Then you only have one other Dodger who has more than one hit against Kyle Gibson, and that's Pujols, who's 6 for 30 against him. You take out that 8 for 20 and 3 home runs. Now it's nice. So let's move over to the market here. Now I am taking first 5 again. Even though the Phillies bullpen is being better last 30 days, they're not as good as the Dodgers bullpen last 30 days. Not as good as the Dodgers bullpen overall. And then I want to cut down the time against this Dodgers offense. By the way, this first 5 totals gone from 5 to 5.5. Let's go to full game here. Full game. And here we go. We have the market for this Dodgers-Phillies game. The Dodgers open up at minus 130. They're now minus 135. A 5-cent move towards them. Just 5 cents. And then we go here with 1,223 tickets in. Look at this. Ooh-wee. Now, I know there's only 1,223 tickets in. We shouldn't take too much of this. But 64% of the tickets are on the Dodgers and 22% of the cash. So the early action, which we always believe is sharper action, of course, than the later action, which is just sort of public action and fun action and recreational action, the bets are coming in on the Phillies. And that just moved now to 37% of the tickets on the Phillies, 78% of cash, 1248. And then we have 61% of the tickets on the over and 63% of cash on the over. And we've seen this go to the full game over 9.5 to 10. So I'm not going to chase that market move. TJ said everyone was on Mets last game versus Gibson. He went 6 innings, allowed 1 earned run. I said this in the chat before the game to not go against Gibson. The game's mattered to him now. He will come to play. He wants this. Mike M says Gibson going to deal. I like this spot at plus 115. Piker says there's about 20 cents of value on the Phillies and rising. Says I'll hit Philly late, not afraid of market moves of public teams. Okay. There we go. There we go. So I have the Phillies first 5 at plus 115. And I like it. Let's see what it would be right now if I went to bet it at bet 365. Plus 110, whatever. 5-cent move. I will take it. And Dami agreeing. Beautiful. I like it. Oh, I know that you're on it already, Dami. That's what it gives me extra confidence. All right. So 2 bets on the board, back-to-bet spots. Dom Ricci looking at that first 5 under. You know, it's hot and the weather going out to straightaway center, and I want Price to get touched, and I'm not going to, but I don't dislike it. And I'm I still am nervous going up against market moves, and that is a 5 to a 5.5. Pinnacle is the leader of that. So there's still a lot of 5s on the board. Pinnacle's moved to 5.5. Okay, let's get to work here. We move on to 7:05 p.m. Eastern. Detroit Tigers at Baltimore Orioles. This is fun. 55-60, 23-35 on the road. Orioles 38-73, 17-35 at home. We're at Camden Yards in Baltimore, Maryland. And we come to the heavy hitters. So I know we've done this once before, but the pitching change things. Here we go. The taint play of the day. Detroit, Baltimore, first 5 under 5.5. the taint play of the day. First 5 under 5.5. And the spreadsheet play of the day, Detroit at minus 115. Detroit at minus 115. Let's go. Arthur Meade Jr. says, be wary of the fade of Matt Harvey. I have been very wary of it and have not been fading him. I've not been betting on him, but I've not been fading him. I have been betting on Tariq Skubal and had him very confidently in that last start of his, an 8-1 win at home versus Boston when he went 5 innings, allowed 5 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 4 Ks. 90 Fahrenheit at Camden, partly cloudy, 7 miles per hour out to left center. Tariq Skubal, 7-10, 4.32 ERA, 1.31 whip, 110 and a third, 121 Ks, 40 walks, 25 home runs. And you guys know how high I've been on the former Detroit Tiger minor league pitcher of the year. But his splits are bad, and they're extremely important with him. We bet him at home, and you fade or pass on the road. At home, 4-5, 3.48 ERA, 250 opponent's batting average. On the road, he's 3-5 with a 5.92 ERA and a 242 opponent's batting average. So the long ball has hurt him on the road. TJ says, are Baltimore bats still smashing lefties? They are. Last 30 days versus lefties, 244 with a 784 OPS. The Tigers versus righties last 30 days, just 234, 720 OPS. Matt Harvey coming off is the first runs he's allowed. He had 3 straight starts of no runs allowed. Still, he's 6-10 with a 6.13 ERA, 1.53 whip. But last start, he went 4 innings, allowed 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 homer, 2 walks, 1 K, and a 10-3 loss at the Yankees. All right. Christopher Comentini says, Orioles been giving up runs like crazy. I see Tigers team total over. TJ says, Baltimore bullpen at an all-time low, over. Tron Hopkins says, I'm on Orioles first 5. Let's go. Tigers bullpen last 30 days has been excellent. 3.19 ERA, 1.36 whip. Orioles bullpen last 30 days, 6.83 ERA, 1.55 whip. And Brandon Lugo says, Yankees total, you can get a 10 now if you like the over. Really? Has it moved from 10.5 to 10? That would mean that this first 5, that's where I got it, 5.5. Okay, because it opened at 6. And the full game Yankees. Yeah, there is a 10 now from Pinnacle. Pinnacle has dropped it to 10. It's a little concerning. Taj is on the Tigers' first 5. Ron Crawford says Harvey 327 BABIP, he gets lit up. Okay, so let's take a look at baseball data. Then we'll look at the market moves and decide how we want to back this. Remember, we have the spreadsheet play of the day on the Tigers and the taint play of the day on Detroit, Baltimore. First 5 under 5.5. Against Skubal, 217 with a 772 OPS. 5 for 23, but of those 5 hits, 1 double and 2 jacks. Against Matt Harvey, 324 with an 883 OPS. So 12 for 37, and of those 12, 2 doubles and 2 homers. Okay. Sharpie says, here's some value I heard last night from Phillies radio announcers. Why Nola's way better at home than on the road. At home, their jerseys are white with red pinstripes, and the ball's white with red pinstripes. Wow, that's wild. That is wild. Arthur Meade Jr. saying, I'm happy now that Canadian football started. So are we. And Billy Friedrich says, White Sox have the getaway day lineup. Anderson, Makata, Robert all out. Wow. Dangerous spot on the White Sox. Okay, so let's look at this market move here. Full game in Detroit, Baltimore. This total opened up at 10 to minus 112. There's been a 4-cent move towards, more than that. It was over 10 at minus 112. Now the under is juiced. The Tigers opened up at minus 104. They're now minus 112. An 8-cent move towards the Detroit Tigers. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this spot and see if we can get a decent sample size. We can't. Just 996 tickets in. Of those 996 tickets, 84% of the tickets, 95% of the cash on the Tigers. 33% of tickets on the under, but 66% of the cash on the under. Interesting. Very, very, very interesting. Wow, and there's Mr. Gokster in the house. So taint is on the first 5 under 5.5. Are we saying that 6 runs are going to be scored in the first 5 against Skubal, who has bad home road splits and Harvey, who's clearly pitching better, but with BABIP luck. And this total is now juiced to the under 5.5. Ricky Levine in the house. There's Trotwam ready to go. Wow. Extremely interesting. And I need more time to think about it. If I'm thinking of just solely these two pitchers, Tariq coming off a good start, his road numbers make me a little uncomfortable. Harvey coming off an okay start against the Yankees lineup at New York with the wind blowing out. Ross Pitt says, I don't trust Baltimore's pen. I agree. It'd have to be first 5 under or nothing. Okay. I find both spots extremely interesting. Ron Crawford spreadsheet play of the day on Detroit, and the Taint play of the day on the first 5 under 5.5. Okay. TJ saying, whenever Harvey goes out, smash Detroit live. He says made money on that now 6 or 7 days. And Real Deal Prime says when Harvey faces hitter second or third time in the order, he's not fooling anybody. All right, and there's our guy Fat Wally in the house. Okay, we move on to another very interesting game where I wanted to make a couple moves and I held off, and the first 5 under was one of them. And my guy says take the first 5 under in that spot. That is the Taint play of the day. So one more time, the Taint play of the day is the first 5 under 5.5 in Tigers Orioles. Arthur Meade Jr. says, I really like the next game, St. Louis over Pittsburgh Pirates. I was interested in the first 5 under, and I was also interested in Pittsburgh first 5. Let's break this down. St. Louis Cardinals 56-56, 24-31 on the road at Pittsburgh Pirates 41-72, 23-31 at home. We're at PNC Park in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. 88 Fahrenheit, humid, mostly cloudy, 8 miles per hour sideways out to the left field pole. We have Adam Wainwright, whose home road splits have been well known for years, but he's coming off some good road starts. He's coming off a string of good starts. And the splits are still an issue, but a little bit less of one, maybe. On the year, he's 10-6, 3.48 ERA, 1.12 WHIP, 139 2/3, 130 Ks, 37 walks, 17 home runs. His last start, 7 innings, 7 hits, 2 earned runs, no homers, 2 walks, 6 Ks in a 4-2 win at home versus the Royals. These are the splits. At home, he's 6-4 with a 2.78 ERA, 2.14 opponent's batting average. On the road, he's 4-2 with a 4.93 ERA, a 2.54 opponent's batting average. Going up against Will Crow, who also has interesting splits. On the road, he's got a 6.23 ERA, 2.93 opponent's batting average. At home, much better, 4.66 ERA and a 2.50 opponent's batting average. He's coming off a rough start. 4 innings, 8 hits, 7 runs. Just 3 were earned. 3 homers, 2 walks, 5 Ks, and a 7.4 loss at the Reds. On the year, he's not been good. 5.47 ERA, 1.56 WHIP, but I do trust him at home. Jimmy Gomez says, my info showing St. Louis over 9, but I'm still capping. Melvin Betances like in the first 5 over 5.5. Taj on St. Louis first 5. Billy Friedrich says Crows 2 games versus Cards this season, 10 innings with 7 earned runs. Yes, Birdie, we have great news. Bebsy will be back. We will be back to a Tuesday night show, and we're going to be announcing all this very, very soon. A Tuesday night show where we break down the card. Bebsy will be back. Bebsy will be joining Pub Sports Radio. And then Sundays are going to be a little different because we have a Wednesday call-in show with Rob Bebenek and Alex Pavone, 2 very funny stand-up comics, and Alex is a wild gambler, a very exciting gambler who now a stand-up comedian in New York. And it's going to be a call-in show on Wednesday nights. And then Sundays are going to be myself with a revolving cast of characters, sort of like the NBA Pub Hub. It'll be an NFL Pub Hub the morning of. Okay. There's Dennis Trusty in the house. Okay. So TJ says this is a double up spot for me. First 5 under and full game under. Okay. So let's break this down more. Cardinals and Real Deal Prime says call and show. Yes. This is Jeff Slaughter's idea. And, I'm excited to see it and to have 2 stand-up comedians, very funny comics who gamble. hosting it, it's going to be exciting to see how it rolls. So, my pleasure, Birdie. I can't wait to cap the season with you. And so Bebsy and I are going to start releasing the futures videos for each division coming up soon. Okay, Cardinals versus righties, last 30 days, 260 with a 748 OPS. You'd expect the OPS to be a little higher with that average. Pirates versus righties, 250, 715 OPS. Cardinals bullpen, 3.91 ERA, 1.17 whip over the last 30 days. Pirates bullpen being atrocious, 5.71 ERA, 1.60 whip. Let's take a look at the market move. Yes, Brian Watson, there is a new taint. It is Tigers, Orioles, first 5 under 5.5. Okay, so here we go. St. Louis, Pittsburgh. Let's break it down. The first 5 opened at 4.5 at -116. There's been an 8-cent move to the under. I get it. So it stopped me in my tracks at first that the first 5 under 4.5 was at plus money. It completely stopped me in my tracks. I was like, why would it be at plus money? It's not at plus money anymore. So other people are sort of, seeing what I'm seeing. Let's move on to pitcher versus batter data. Against Wainwright, 257 with a 665 OPS. Against Will Crow, 297, 1.031 OPS. Crow's been pitching better. Crow has been pitching better. I expect that to continue. Ross Pitt says Will Crow at home is money. So let's move over to the cash flow here and see if that illuminates anything for us in this Cardinals game. 1,424 tickets in, 82% of the tickets, 57% of the cash on the Cardinals. And then 60% of the tickets on the under and 35% of cash on the under. Why would that be? Why would the full game being bet to the over, but not the first 5? Oh, because of how bad the Pirates bullpen has been. And there's been a 3-cent move towards the under there. And Diesel Eugene says Bundy's about to get touched like an aspiring actress at Bill Cosby's house. Very interesting. TJ, I don't think we should buy too much into this at this point. We have 1,424 tickets in. It's really not enough for us to put too much faith into what we're seeing. So I'm not going to. Rich G says Pirates bullpen usually good to give up 3 or 4 runs. Okay, so with all this being said, I do kind of like this first 5 under 4.5. So first 5 under 4.5. I'm just going to put a couple question marks beside it. I'm going to put one question mark beside it. I believe I'm going to pull the trigger on this. Okay, let's move on to another game that I wanted to attack, and I was confused by the market move and wanted to talk it out with you guys. Oakland Athletics, 65-48, 31-23 on the road at Cleveland Indians, 55-56, 29-25 at home. We're at Progressive Field in Cleveland, Ohio. And man, the Kyle Quantrill is pitching very well right now. How do we not back him? Now he's got consecutive home starts. And Frankie Montas has interesting home and road splits, so we will bring it up. But at this point, I want to back unders, and yet it's 88 Fahrenheit. It's humid and sticky. The ball will be flying. It's 12 miles per hour out to right field. And money was moving towards the over, so I was like, just shut it down, talk it out. Frankie Montas on the hill for the A's, 9-8, 4.10 ERA, 1.26 whip, 125 innings, 140 Ks, 33 walks, 16 home runs. And Mr. Gokster says, Port Dope's finest Cal Quantrill on the bump. But let's talk about Montas a little longer. Last start, went 6 innings, 3 earned runs. No walks, 8 Ks, and 5-4 extra inning win at the Padres. Padres are hitting righties hard right now. Here are the splits. At home, 4-6, 4.40 ERA, 272 opponent's batting average. In a really nice spot for pitchers in Oakland. On the road, 5-2, 3.71 ERA, opponent's hitting just 225 off him. Then we go to Quantrill. His last start, 7 innings, 4 hits, no earned runs, no walks, 10 Ks, and a 6-1 win at home versus Tigers. Now he gets a consecutive home start. Not Flush says breaking out my Brady jersey for Bebsy. Yes, I will be letting him know the weather very early just to see if I can piss him off. A's versus righties the last 30 days, 239 with a 701 OPS. Indians versus righties last 30 days, 239 with a 696 OPS. A's bullpen last 30 days being completely – so neither team's hitting righties last 30 days. A's bullpen's being lights out last 30 days, 1.94 ERA, 1.05 whip. Indians' bullpen's being good, 3.56 ERA, 1.22 whip. They did have a dip. Both starting pitchers are pitching well. Billy Friedrich says Quantrill last 5 starts, 30 innings pitched, 3 earned runs. So I ask you, how are we not on unders? And how are we not backing the Indians at this plus price? Now let's see what the market – actually, let's go to baseball data, see if that does anything that changes. Against Montas, 211, 567 OPS. Against Quantrill, 222, 697 OPS. So, again, we're talking unders. There's Lee Shipley in the house. What up, Lee? So let's go. Oakland, Cleveland. The total opens up at 9, and it's moved to 9.5 at Bet365, Pinnacle, Heritage. Oakland opens up at minus 125. Now it's at minus 144. 19-cent move towards Oakland. So, do nothing has been the right move. The first 5 opened at under 5 at minus 112. It hasn't moved. And the first 5 backing Montas, he opens up at minus 148. He goes up to minus 170. And then comes back down to minus 155. Lee Shipley says, I'm backing the A's again here. Always find ways to win. Sharpie says, can't wait to chop up props with Bebenek. Yes, I'm looking forward to that too. And especially for the Wednesday's call-in show when we can, we'll have to sort of predict what the spots are. Mr. Gokser, we have a huge day here at Pub Sports Radio. A bunch of great shows. And 3 p.m. Eastern, we have our Back Nine golf show. That rolls into the big Babano and C-Mac show at 4 p.m. Rich G says 15 miles per hour out to right. So I have 12. Why don't we double check that here on RotoWire? Let's go. Oh, here I'm on RotoWire. Okay, perfect. So let's go to lineups, daily lineup. Let's get a look at what they're expecting here. So yeah, 12, 9. Wow. Oh shit. Sorry, that moved. Sorry. Here we go. Why are you Cleveland? Here we go. 12 miles per hour out. And TJ says best look on the game is under 27.5 hits, runs, errors. Love this spot. Interesting. Only horse. Interesting. Trusty talking about that Golden Pal race. And very, very, very interesting. That's a good call, Trusty. What's the name of that horse that came second in that race? Todd saying A's Indians over. Oh, race 9 in the 9 horse. That's an interesting way of. If we think Golden Pal's as good as he is, then that makes a ton of sense. I'm going to copy and paste Trusty here. And we're going to move on. This makes actually, you know what? Let's just see where the money lies before we move on. This makes me extremely uncomfortable that the market just moving against me. And we only have 1,021 tickets in. 60% of the tickets, 82% of the cash on the A's. 75% of the tickets, 64% of the cash on the under. Lee Shipley says, traditionally, Indians are just a force of pure baseball power this time of year, but Oakland never gives up. They have a way to find a way to take the W in the right spots. Sean Thomas says, I'm heading back to Cleveland. Ross Pitts on the Indians plus 1.5. All right, I'm going to need some more time, I guess. But Billy Friedrich says Indians first 5 plus money. And Rich G says Indians first 5 plus 130. That's huge value of control. I agree. I absolutely agree. But clearly there's no reason to rush into maybe the first 5 because we saw that the A's already went up to minus 170 and are back to minus 155. Okay, so I do have interest in the first 5 under, the full game under. I mean, are we concerned that the bullpens have been used up and were great yesterday? I'm interested in the Indians first 5. I'm definitely interested in the Indians first 5. I mean, that's the spot. I know that Montas has been good on the road, but Quantrill's just been lights out lately. We have to trust that. Which link do you speak of, Jose? I'm a little confused. Dom Ricci, I'm talking about Alex Pavone. You can check him out online. He is young Italian comic in New York. I think that you will like him a lot, Tommy Gunn. Okay, so Lee Shipley says over is the best play. 16, actually. They left 16 runners on base because their bullpen's playing so well. If I have to be that afraid of the under, then why wouldn't I only take the Indians' first 5? I think the Indians' first 5 is becoming a play. And then maybe I should just be scared off of the first 5 under and the full game under. Neither team has a ton of home run threats. So the fact that they're leaving runners on base is not a big surprise with these two clubs. Okay. I find this very interesting, this total move. Okay, let's move on. Indians' first 5, I think, will be added to my card. Let's move on to 7:10 p.m. Eastern, and this was my fault. Tampa Bay Rays at Boston Red Sox. How I didn't get the 5.5. It moved to 6. First 5, and I didn't want it at 6. I didn't want to be the ass, to take the ass end of the line. So, very, very upsetting. I like the first 5 over so much. I completely understand why I got to 6. And TJ says both pitchers under 10% on FBHR last 6 starts. Fly ball to home run rate. That's nice numbers. Okay. Rays 69-44, 34-22 on the road at Boston Red Sox, 65-50, 33-23 at home. We're at Fenway Park in Boston, Massachusetts. 81 Fahrenheit, humid, partly cloudy, 10 miles per hour to left center. We have Josh Fleming going up against Nathan Eovaldi, and everything to me is screaming first 5 over, but I just can't get that at 6. I can't bet it at 6. Slat says was on Tampa yesterday, right back on them today. Hot team versus ice cold Red Sox. Rays at Eovaldi and closer Barnes has fallen off a cliff. Rays plus 105. I cannot trust Josh Fleming on the bump. Taj says you guys talk Yankees Royals already. Yes, I'm on the first 5 over 5.5 in that spot, Taj, but the market's moving towards the under, and I'm nervous about it. Teron Hopkins says back in the Red Sox here. Let's pull up this spot and ensure that Fleming is pitching here. Is Fleming pitching? Yes. Okay. Fleming confirmed. So irritating that I didn't get that 6 or 5.5. Excuse me. Bet online still hanging a 5.5. Rich G says both pitchers get touched here. Rays Red Sox first 5 over 5.5 is my look. Yeah, it would have been mine, but it had moved to 6 when I tried to bet it. So Josh Fleming 9-5, 4.12 ERA, 1.18 WHIP, only 57 Ks and 87 and a third. And he's been good this year. At home, abysmal on the road. Last start, 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, no walks, 6 Ks, 4.3 win at home versus Mariners. At home, he's 6-3 with a 2.37 ERA. Opponents batting 190 off him. On the road, he's 3-2, but he's a 6.39 ERA, and opponents are hitting 3.05 against him. Going up against Nathan Eovaldi, 9-7, 4.07 ERA, 1.22 WHIP. His last start, he was rolling through 4 innings. He was rolling through 4 2/3 innings. And then he got lit up and smoked by the Blue Jays. 4 2/3, 8 hits, 7 earned runs, 1 homer, 2 walks, 4 Ks, and 12-4 loss at the Blue Jays. Sharpie says, hope y'all listened last time and cashed Fleming over 3.5 strikeouts. If it was not a back-to-back games, I'd run it back. Okay, so Eovaldi was rolling and looking great. And then we hit 3 straight doubles at the bottom end of the Blue Jays lineup, and one was quite fortunate. But Nathan Eovaldi has very interesting. So let me just put it this way. So I don't hate on his last start. It just got away from him, which happens. It just got away from him. But look at his splits. At home, 5-3, 3.42 ERA, 248 points batting average. On the road, 4-4, 5.17 ERA, 278 points batting average. Problem is, over the last 30 days, the Rays are hitting 264 with an 844 OPS against righties. Red Sox versus lefties last 30 days, just 261 with a 736 OPS. With a 261 average, you would think that the OPS would be much higher. Rays bullpen last 30 days being very good, 171, 1.71 ERA, 1.01 WHIP. Red Sox not being good, 4.71 ERA, 1.40 WHIP. Slat says Rays pen wins it late versus terrible Sox pen. Mike M says, interesting pitching spot. Both faced each other recently. They moved rotations, so he's facing Fleming this time. I think that Eovaldi at home, even though the baseball data doesn't help us here, against Fleming, the Red Sox are hitting 429 with 1.179 ERA, smashing him. Against Eovaldi, they're hitting 286 with a 930 OPS. So look at the big bats, though. Nelson Cruz, 2 for 9. Now, those 2 hits are a double and a homer. Brandon Lau, 3 for 14. Manuel Margot, 1 for 4. Yandy Diaz, 2 for 10. Randy Arozarena, 0 for 8. So he'll probably not be in the lineup. DJ says numbers are a bit skewed. Rays put up 20 runs in 3 games versus Baltimore. So let's take a look at what the market has done here in this spot. Let's go to Bet Online's first 5. So Boston opens up at minus 125. The first 30 minutes of action move it to minus 115, and then Red Sox money comes in, so it's sitting at minus 130. That's first 5. That's the only way I'd take them. I expect Fleming to get touched by the Red Sox, and I expect Eovaldi to bounce back. Maybe that's crazy. Yeah, Yankees are pitching licky. Rodney Barton says, I think Boston covers the run line. Rays win the game. Mike M says, Boston needs Eovaldi to get his groove back. I like Boston here. All right, full game. The problem is I just, at minus 130, it's just too much. And I'm hesitant to take him on minus a half. I'll have to see how I can get that down. So let's go here and take a look at the full game Red Sox Rays. Red Sox open up at minus 117 and now minus 114, a 3-cent move towards the Rays. And this full game total's gone from 10 to 10.5. 10 to 10.5. Let's see where the cash is here. And hopefully we have a decent, and there's no sample size at all. The tickets aren't in. There's 390 tickets in. So 64% of the cash on the Red Sox, 45% of the tickets, and then 57% of cash on the under, 97% of cash, 57% of the tickets on the under. Turnsey says everything is locked on this game up at 3 sides besides the money line and the total. Very strange. Why would that be? Yeah, everything's out. But first 5 sitting there, the over 6 is at plus a hundo. All right. I would like to figure out how to get the juice down for the Red Sox first 5. I understand that Eovaldi's numbers aren't great against the Rays, but Fleming's numbers are atrocious against the Red Sox. And I want Boston first 5, but I don't want it at minus 130, so I've got to take some more time to figure that out. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on to 7:10 p.m. Eastern, Nationals Mets. And this is going to be a very tricky game to bet. There's no market out right now. There's going to be the continuation of the yesterday's game. So we don't know who's going to be pitching the late game for the Mets. It might be Marcus Stroman. Now, the Nats hit lefties so much harder than they hit righties these days, but they're really hitting everyone. Stroman coming off 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 homer, 1 walk, 5K start, 4-2 loss at the Phillies. The Mets aren't hitting righties. So if it is Joe Ross on the bump for that, if it is a Joe Ross, Rich Hill matchup, I think the Nationals have some value first 5. But we are going to have to see who they pitch in the first game, what happens to the bullpen. We do know that for the late game, it's 85 Fahrenheit, humid, partly cloudy with 10 miles per hour out to left center. And we know that the Nats bullpen the last 30 days has been an absolute train wreck. 6.67 ERA, 1.59 whip. Taj says, had the Nationals plus 200 yesterday till the game got suspended. And I felt bad, too, because our guy Pete Loshak had the Nationals first 5 at plus 185. Sean Dozier said, what do you think about the under 5 in the White Sox game? I need to study up on the pitching matchup now that there's no Lance Lynn, Sean, so I can't really give you a thoughtful answer on that. Okay, so we're going to skip past that game and move on to 7:20 p.m. Eastern, Reds-Braves. This is a fascinating matchup here. Reds 61-53, 30-26 on the road at the Braves, 58-55, 30-28 at home. We're at Truist Park in Atlanta, Georgia, 85 Fahrenheit, humid, mostly cloudy, 4 miles per hour, sideways in. Wade Miley has been so good. He's been so consistent. He doesn't matter if he's on at home or on the road. This is a vet that's pitching very well right now. And the pimp slap play of the day is the White Sox first 5 under 5. Wade Miley, 9-4, 2.75 ERA, 1.22 whip, 121 innings, 93 Ks, 38 walks, and 9 homers. His last start was a thing of beauty, 10-0 win at home versus the Pirates. Now, I know the Pirates aren't hitting, and that's not entirely true. The Pirates are not hitting maybe in the last week or so, but 3 weeks ago they were hitting pretty hard. He went 7 innings, 6 hits, allowed no earned runs, 2 walks, 5 Ks, was in complete control, 10-0 win. Touki Toussaint is a big question mark right now. 1-2, 4.43 ERA, 1.12 whip, 23 Ks and 22 1/3. His last start, he went 5 1/3. He allowed 5 hits, 3 runs, 2 of which were earned, 1 homer, 2 walks, 3 Ks, and an 8-4 win at the Cardinals. The Reds versus righties, 264, 831 OPS in the last 30 days. They're smashing them. Braves versus lefties, they're not hitting them at all last 30 days. 230 with a 705 OPS. Reds bullpen last 30 days being bad, 5.09 ERA, 1.42 whip, while the Braves bullpen being very good, 3.17 ERA, 1.15 whip. Sharpie says Tuki's problem is his control issues. Reds are number 2 in walk percentage last 15 days, 10.4%. Atlanta bottom 2 for last 10 pitching. All-star break. Cincinnati first 5 all day. Yes, I agree with that. Let's take a look at the baseball data. It's expensive. Let's take a look at the baseball data. Against Wade Miley, these Braves are hitting 333 with a 1.009 OPS. Does that stop you in your tracks? Does it stop me? Solaire's 2 for 4 with a triple against them. Ozzie Albies 2 for 3. Freddie Freeman is now on the COVID list, right? So good. You take out the 5 for 17, 3 doubles and 1 homer. That helps. Only 2 batters have seen Touki. That helps. Platinum Paul in the house. Thank you for joining us. Paul has NBA Summer League Pelicans -2.5 in Miami, Memphis over 171. And Turnsey says, I'm going right back to the well with Red Sox team total over 4.5 -130 full game. Turnsey, is that the Rusty Kuntz play of the day? Dommy Gun says Rays have a lineup advantage versus Eovaldi, but what about the giant numbers that the Red Sox have against Fleming? Dommy? Okay, so let's take a look at – so the baseball data makes us uncomfortable. Let's take a look at what the market has done in this spot. I feel like I need to trust this baseball data here. Now, look at this. Is it facts that Freddie Freeman's on the COVID list? Because we've had a big market move towards the Braves. Wow, the huge market move. Let's just see this move. When did it happen? So it opens up -104 pick'em at Pinnacle, and then the Braves start taking money. They get to -108 to -110, and then in the morning it goes back to some Reds cash. Then -114 to -119 to -120. It's now sitting at -118 for the Braves. Is the Freeman thing with COVID confirmed? Rich G says I see nothing. Freddie. We know what happened to him the first time he got COVID. I don't see anything about Freddie Freeman being back on the COVID list. I see nothing on Freddie Freeman on the COVID list. Okay. And it's still listing Freeman on Roto. Okay, I'm not sure who mentioned that, but take that out of our thought process. Okay. So, and it can't be. There just simply wouldn't be this market move towards the Braves if Freddie Freeman was not in the lineup. Nima says, wait, does that mean a lot of people bet on the Braves winning this morning? Well, let's take a look. We have, how many tickets are in? Just 844 tickets in. Wow, it's slow at the hop. And very interesting, just 32% of the tickets are on the Braves, 67% of the cash. Then we have 39% of the tickets on the over and 64% of the cash on the over. So this market move here, once again, went from 9.5 to 10. And first 5 went from 5 to 5.5. God, I wish I could have got that 5. Oh, Boomer020 says he was removed on the game Saturday with upper respiratory infection. Thank you, Boomer. Had a negative COVID test and was back last night. Thank you very much, Boomer. Beautiful, beautiful. And Rich G said, I think that was bad info on Freeman. Okay, great stuff. Thank you, guys. And thank you, Damon. Okay, so what the hell do we do? I would like to back Miley first 5, but I think I got to trust those numbers against them. And then the Reds haven't seen Tukey. And then I wanted the first 5 over, but I'm not going to reach at 5.5 when I could have had 5 as the push. So in the end, I think this becomes no move for me. No move for me. Tukey at home. He's not been very good at home so far this year. All right, let's move on to 8:05 p.m. Eastern. Milwaukee Brewers 68-46, 36-19 on the road. The Chicago Cubs 52-63, 31-26 at home. We're at Wrigley Field in Chicago, Illinois. 87 Fahrenheit, humid, partly cloudy, 6 miles per hour out to straightaway center. We have Corbin Burns going up against Jake Arrieta. Corbin Burns 6-4, 2.39 ERA, 0.96 WHIP, 113 innings, 157 Ks, 21 walks, and 5 home runs. In his last start, he went 7 innings, allowed 4 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 5 Ks, and a 2-1 extra inning win at home versus the Giants. And we had them first 5 minus a half, and they were up 1-0 after 5. Going up against Jake Arrieta, who's been atrocious. 5-10, 6.34 ERA, 1.69 WHIP, 82 and a third, 71 Ks, 37 walks, 21 home runs. His last start was at the Rockies. He actually, he allowed 3 home runs in 4 innings, but only 4 earned runs overall. No walks, 2 Ks. The Braves aren't hitting righties hard, but they keep beating the Cubs up, and they keep covering the run lines, and I feel like I'm leaving money on the table. Brewers versus righties, 235, 706 OPS last 30. Cubs versus righties, 239, 692 OPS. Brewers bullpen, 3.83 ERA, 1.34 WHIP over the last 30, and the Cubs bullpen being so bad, 5.50 ERA, 1.44 WHIP. The Dirty K prop is in. Burns over 7.5 Ks at minus 120. Cubs, number 1 in K percentage last 15 days and last 30 days. And says, doesn't take a genius to love the first 5 over 2, 14 mile per hour wind out. I have 16 mile per hour. Let's check RotoWire and see what they've got right now. They've got 16 mile per hour out as well. And Zach Wilson back in the over on the strikeout prop for Burns. And Deacon says, we'll bet the over 2.5 home runs in the Milwaukee game if wind is blowing out his forecast. Arrieta worth 2 home runs. Wind isn't a factor. So this game was off the board for a long time. Is it back? And it is. So the first half, the first 5 under 5.5 was juiced to minus 113, now juiced to minus 120. A 7-cent move towards the under, and the Brewers are enormous favorites. But let's focus on the Dirty K prop of the day. Burns over 7.5 Ks for our David Sharpie. Over 7.5 Ks for Burns. Let's get this cash. This stat from TJ says, good God, last 3 starts area. There's a 50% home run rate on fly balls. Eric Jones on the under 10. And Joshua Keuchel-Lai's play of the day over Chicago, Milwaukee. Beat up Jake Arrieta. He hasn't been the same since the World Series. Off the juice, says Josh. Okay, let's talk about this a little more. Go to the baseball data next. So with baseball data against Burns, they're hitting 200 with a 554 OPS. They're 4 for 20. And just 5 hitters have seen them. Against Arrieta, 290 with a 796 OPS, but that might be the young Arrieta. Not old Arrieta, who's terrible. So let's take a look at the cash flow here. And there won't be many tickets in because this just got on the board. 970 tickets in. 73% of the tickets on the Brewers, 54% of the cash. You know what? I think that's just a case of them being too big of a favorite. And, people just taking blind shots with the Cubbies here. They opened up at minus 255. They're now minus 248. 7-cent move towards the Cubs. And this total has gone from 10.5 down to 10. Yeah, Rodney Barton, I hear that. So why? Why would this total go from 10.5 down to 10? It makes no sense. Sharpie says it's just like the Cease versus Hendricks matchup the other day. 13 runs in the game. Over. Melvin Batanza says, Jose, you have to change ladies on the graphic. They're not BBWs. Wow, Jose, they're right. Yeah. Oh, I see Jose nodding. Very, very. Yeah, that's. You are absolutely right. Our guy Melvin Batanza. All right, this is strange. It's very strange. The market moving towards the under. It's strange enough for me just to stay away. I do think that Arrieta gets hit. But I mean, how much are you going to pay for a run line in this spot? That's the question. I mean, how much is it worth to you? The Brewers on the run line here are minus 170. Well, that's not going to happen. Deacon says Jimmy could hit a fly ball halfway to center at Wrigley. Wrigley with wind blowing out at 15. All right. Well, we have the Dirty K prop of the day. Over 7.5 for Burns. Dirty K in. Okay, we move on. 9:38 p.m. Eastern. Toronto Blue Jays 61-51, 30-27 on the road at Los Angeles Angels 57-57, 31-27 at home, and this takes us to where we want to be. The say hey play of the day for our man Jose, coming off a nice winner with the Dodgers plus 106. Jose, my friend, I got a lot of my anger out on you at the beginning of the show. Thank you for taking that like the man that you are. It is a beautiful spot you find yourself in at Helga's bedroom. I'm not going to lie, I'm a little curious at the surroundings, a little interested.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
I'll flip it around here. There's her nice little room. There we go. My dog laying down right there. Right. And I've got some sports ball in front of me.
Oh, nice. You got the big screen up there?
The big screen up there is up there. Yeah, well, I mean, why does she need a TV in her room? She's always in my house anyway, so.
Sure. Yeah. And I'm going to just edit some of the things that are rolling through my head right now. Jose, my friend, you want that mustache off your face.
It would be ideal.
And you want to keep your job.
That also would be ideal.
And the only way to do that is to get in the black. Now, you have 11 bets left, and that was a huge win. If you had lost yesterday's bet, you would be in big trouble. But you won it, and you could get hot right now. Blue Jays, Angel Stadium, Anaheim, California, 81 Fahrenheit, clear, 8 miles per hour to straightaway center. Alek Manoah going up against Dylan Bundy. Manoah has been excellent, better than we imagined him. He's a big game pitcher, and we love him. 4-1, 2.58 ERA, 1.01 WHIP, 52 1/3, 60 Ks, 19 walks, 7 home runs allowed. His last start, 5 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, no homers, 3 walks, 4 Ks, 12-4 win at home versus Red Sox. I had him first 5. And it didn't look good until late in that spot. Going up against Bundy. Now, my plan was to bet Bundy in his last start, but I got cold feet. I was not hitting, and I was like, look, I can't sit here and bet him. What am I going to just say he's going to have a good start? Because the Rangers can't hit anything. And he had a great start. 6 1/3, 3 hits, 0 earned runs, 2 walks, 6 Ks. This is a very different situation for him. Bundy, 2-8, 6.14 ERA, 1.36 WHIP. He's no longer going up against a team that can't hit righties. The Jays are 266 with an 811 OPS versus righties. And the Angels, that's last 30 days. Angels last 30 days, just 239, 661 OPS. The bullpens are a wash at this point. Here we go. Jose, my friend, with the pompadour, take it away.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Again, I looked that up, and it's the Johnny Bravo as well. Also, I'd like to I have written down BBW on my hand, so I remembered to change the picture. So
good. I hope Helga sees that. Perfect.
She'll be like, BB, what does that mean? And she won't even get her. But I think the obvious play here is the Blue Jays. I was looking for a way to bet the Blue Jays, and I had a thought, Jimmy. Well, I guess I saw a comment, I should say. I forgot from who it was already, so I can't give you credit. I'm sorry. I have a stoner's memory. But he basically told me what you told me again. Stop reaching for these plus money lines. If you see a bet that's going to hit, just bet it. I think I'm about to give out my juiciest bet I've ever given. It's nothing outrageous. I looked around. I thought about taking the Blue Jays first 5 minus a half, but Minus 140 is not it. So I'm just going to scroll down a little bit, and I'm just take their team total first 5, 2.5. Minus 127. A little juicy, like I said. Dylan Bundy, he doesn't have it anymore, unfortunately. I'm glad he went out there, dominated a bad Rangers team, but I'm not a Theodore guy. He's not on my radar. He had the last year. He had a great year. Weird that he had a good year last year and such remarkable circumstances, but obviously that seems to be just a mirage. Change of scenery only helps for so long, it seems. So I'm going to take the murderer out back. I'll trust Vladdy. I'll trust Marcus Semien. I'll trust George Springer. These guys ripped my heart out a couple weeks ago, and I can safely say they're the best offense in baseball. I don't really think it's close. Their lineup's ridiculous, 1 through 9. So I'll take the Blue Jays. 3 runs doesn't seem like that much for this offense. And we talked about it earlier. First game in this series, Jimmy, it was the doubleheader. That flight from the no, as we will call it, the 6, as other people call it, to LA. That's a bitch. That's a bitch of a flight. They lose that first game, unsurprisingly. They come out, smack them in the second game, and I think they'll come out again and beat them.
There is this, I don't know if it's legitimate, but there's a thing that's mentioned often that it's the second day of the road trip that you feel the exhaustion. And after a double dip, that could rear its ugly head. Bundy has been excellent against the Jays batters. 224 with a 678 OPS. The best hitter against him is Springer. It was 3 for 11 with a double and a homer. Vladdy, 2 for 10 with a double. Grichuk, 1 for 12. Teoscar Hernandez, 2 for 11. But as you said, these guys are so hot right now, maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe it doesn't matter. Buddy's nervous says Vladdy's struggling right now.
I think he gets back on it today, by the way. I think he has a nice little day for himself.
Well, let's take a look and see. 1,109 tickets in. 72% of the tickets, 92% of the cash on the Jays. Then you have 61% of the tickets and 94% of cash on the under. That is extremely interesting. And then we go over to the full game. This under 9.5 opened up minus 112, is now minus 115, 3-cent move towards them. The Jays opened up minus 168, they're now minus 184, a 16-cent move towards the Toronto Blue Jays. I think that you're taking this seriously, Jose. I think You're taking this seriously. I mean, it's hard to say that, with your
surroundings.
Yeah, and your just your physical makeup right now.
You're not liking the flow. I got some new shampoo, so it's giving me the volume I need, and my hair is like play.
All right. Okay. So the say hey play of the day is in. It is the Blue Jays. First 5 team total over 2.5. And I just hope I can just get that out of my fucking memory. Just him telling me about him shampooing his goddamn hair. God, it just God, this is fucking hideous. That shit out of my fucking head. God damn it. Just fucking horrifying. All right. First 5 team total over 2.5 minus 127 for Jose. I'm not sure why I'm not on the Blue Jays. Is it because, the double dip yesterday, the long flight? I don't know. Maybe this is a simple bet, and I'm leaving money on the table here. Not Flush Allen said, I told you before, I was drooling waiting for Bundy's next start. He did say that. And I mean, if I want to, I'm a little concerned about the heavy legs for the Jays, but there's no doubt about the fact that they're smashing right now. I mean, if I was to try to figure out how to lower the juice in a Jays spot, because I still don't trust their bullpen, first 4.5 minus 1.5 at plus 105. You could take the first 3 innings minus 0.5 at minus 115. Maybe that is the best spot with the least amount of juice. They're not giving me a first 5 line, and I have no idea what Dylan Bundy's going to give you today. So Birdie says Manoah is coming off a really solid outing. I can understand the fade here. And here we go. Turnsy The Rusty Kuntz play of the day is Vladdy over 1.5 bases at -110. The Rusty Kuntz play of the day is in. Let me just pop that here under Jose. Here we go. Oh shit! Sorry, I didn't. Sorry. Let me fix this. Undo. Okay, Vladdy over 1.5 bases at -110 is Rusty Kuntz. All right, you know what? That calls for us just to see our man Turnsey resting solemnly on not solemnly. Why would I say solemnly? Resting happily on the nutsack. Yeah, get that. Just resting happily on the bridge of Rusty Kuntz's nutsack. God, that's just nice. The Rusty Kuntz play of the day is in. I repeat, Rusty Kuntz in. Vladdy over 1.5 bases at -110. Okay. Trinity says I'm happy now. Yes, I see that. God, let's just go back to that one last time. It just relaxing. Just smiling there. Just relax. Like he's like suntanning on the bridge of Rusty Kuntz's nutsack. All right. Let's move on. We move on to 9:45 p.m. Eastern. Arizona Diamondbacks 35-79, 14-44 on the road at San Francisco Giants 72-41, 36-17 at home. Oracle Park in San Francisco, California. 65 Fahrenheit clear, 11 miles per hour to left center. Merle Kelly 7-8, 4.13 ERA, 1.19 WHIP, 137 in the third, 115 Ks, 32 walks, 16 home runs. Last start he was lights out. Lights out against the Giants. 8 innings, 3 hits, no earned runs, 2 walks, 4 Ks, and a 5-4 extra inning loss at home versus the Giants. But he was excellent. At home, he's bet on. I'm telling you, bet on for the rest of the year. You got to stick with first fives, sadly. He's 4-3, 3.38 ERA, 238 opponents batting average. That number is dropping quickly. On the road, though, it's touch and go for him. 3-5, 5.10 ERA, 265 opponents batting average. And he's coming off shutting down this lineup at home. What happens when he gets to San Francisco? Going up against Gaussman, 10-5, 2.31 ERA, 0.94 WHIP, 150 Ks, 132 in the third. It looks like he got right at Arizona in his last start. 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 8 Ks in a 7-1 win at the Diamondbacks. All right. Viper says total's gone over in 4 of Arizona's last 5 games when playing on the road against San Francisco. Diamondbacks versus righties last 30 days, 231, 694 OPS. Giants versus righties, 246, 780 OPS. Diamondbacks bullpen last 30 days, terrible. 5.56 ERA, 1.56 WHIP. Giants bullpen lights out, 2.74 ERA, 0.95 WHIP. Okay, so here we go. Diamondbacks, Giants. Let's take a look at the market that we are dealing with. We have Giants opening up at -251. They're now -282. Jeez, a 29-cent move towards the San Francisco Giants. This total opened up at 7.5 -106. It's now 7.5 at -115 to the over. And TJ says this is the TJ play of the day. Gaussman, worst at home. Just saw this team hit the over 7.5 as I go for 6 in a row. 6 in a row. God, that makes sense, doesn't it? Just makes sense. Let's go to baseball data here. Against Merrill Kelly, 274 with an 820 OPS. He shuts down the opponent for 8 innings. Still has bad numbers against these boys. Against Gaussman, the D-backs are 219, 589 OPS. Uncool on the Giants' run line. Again, it's very tricky to figure out how to profit off the Giants in this spot. 1,361 tickets in, 84% of the tickets, 86% of the cash on the Giants. 64% of the tickets on the over. 23% of cash on the over. Nutflush Allen says if Jose uses the word volume and shampoo, the words volume and shampoo, again, 6-month ban. 6-month ban. Well, I don't need to worry about that because if he doesn't get to the black, shaves his mustache, we'll never hear from Jose again. Oh, maybe he'll pop in the chat, but we'll ban him. We'll ban him from the chat as well. So he's not just fired from the show.
I absolutely wouldn't drop in the chat. There's 0% chance.
Okay. All right. So it'll just be Helga in the chat then. Okay.
Yes.
So Giants Diamondbacks. What do we do? What the hell do we do? I expect Kauffman to have another really nice start. And if that's the case, do I expect Merrill Kelly to shut down this Giants lineup again? That's the question. I think what's happening right now is that Jose knows that he might get canned. And I felt there was a little anger. And I don't know if you guys noticed that, but there was a little anger. You could tell he was like, I'm not going to set foot in your fucking chat, because he knows, he's going to be bounced and, the embarrassment that comes with that. All right, so let's see here. First 5. What the hell do you do? You could take the Giants first 3 minus half minus 125. I won't do that. The Giants are just 2. There's Polo this, Polo that. We've missed you, my man. Patrick Bono says there's a prop Giants first 5 and full game at plus 105. The Giants do get down early, live bet them. And that live bet them, that's what Nutflush Allen's been doing with great success. Enormous success. Live betting the Giants every time they go down. I don't see how to make money other than trusting Merrill Kelly's turnaround late in the season. But again, I have had very bad luck. Not luck. I have a bad ROI if I'm using a vividness bias or a recency bias from what I just saw from a pitcher, shutting down an opponent, then seeing them 5 days later. And both these pitchers had great starts against it. I'm staying off. Okay, we move on to the next spot on the card. Final game on the card, Texas Rangers at Seattle Mariners. I moved on the Mariners first 4.5 at minus a half at plus 115. That was the best spot that I felt was available. Brady says, I've been fired, Jose. I suggest stealing the TV in the dressing room and every aluminum stick you can put in your truck. Yeah, I mean, that's dangerous. Dangerous stuff, Brady. Dangerous. Because, we know where Jose lives. We know who he lives with. So dangerous.
Wait a second. You know where I live?
Yes. Yes, we do.
Okay.
Yes, we do. Remo says, when we fire Jose, let's bring back that tool, Freddie Fortune from Puerto Rico. It's not Puerto Rico, man. It's Costa Rica, dude. Yeah. And, I can tell you guys now, his name was not Federico, too. You want to hear a gringo ignorance. His name was Federico. So he should have been Fedi Fortune, which would have been a much better name. But my gringo ass thought he was Federico. Called him Freddie Fortune. So there's a little tidbit there. We were calling him a name that wasn't his throughout his whole stint on the show. What a fucking ignorant fucking gringo I am. Okay. Rangers, Mariners, T-Mobile Park in Seattle, Washington, 81 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 7 miles per hour in. Spencer Howard going up against Tyler Anderson. I expect a nice start out of Tyler Anderson. Why? Because the Rangers are hitting 167 with a 471 OPS versus lefties over the last 30 days. The Mariners are hitting 233, 684 OPS. Can you trust Spencer Howard? Under no circumstances can we trust Spencer Howard on the other side. His first start with the Rangers, he went 2 1/3, 3 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 homer, 2 walks, 3 Ks, and a 5-0 loss at home versus the Angels. He cannot be trusted. But Tyler Anderson, I think, can. I like to start against the Yankees. Remember, the Yankees were hitting just unbelievable numbers against lefties. And he 5 innings, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 4 Ks. He looked great. So both bullpens are pitching very well. I already moved on the Mariners first 4.5 minus a half. The only other look you could have here is a full game. Wind coming in at beautiful T-Mobile Park. It would be a full game under. Let's take a look at what that is right now. It's an 8. It's just too low. By the way, the Mariners opened up at minus 186. They're now minus 188. Just a 2-cent move on them. That's a little alarming with 86% of the tickets and 89% of the cash on the Mariners. 41% of the tickets on the under and 76% of cash on the under. Michael Robertson in the house. Great to see you. And Nutflush John says, tread lightly on that Giants over. Yeah, I'm not going to move on it. Platinum Paul on Texas, Seattle, no run first inning. So I'm just going to stick with my spot. Mariners first 4.5 minus a half. Sharpie says Texas Rangers, no run first inning, 94-19 is cash in Texas games. Get in and get out. Wow. Okay, so I'm going to stick with my spot, although I do like the full game under, but the bullpens have been used up pretty well. I'm just going to stay off of it. I'm on the Mariners first 4.5 minus a half at plus 115. And that concludes all of our action. Don't forget the TJ play of the day. That's 5-0 right now is the Arizona San Francisco over 7.5. Nutflush, Alan says, Jimmy, you know what to do here. I don't. Nutflush, I'm not running hot. We are still 8.3 units up on the year, but it's not been a good week and a half. All right, let's review action. There's no move in White Sox Twinkies. No move for me in Rockies Astros. My day starts on the first 5 over 5.5 at minus 120 in the Yankees Royals game. Let's move over to that right now and see what it is. 5.5 at minus 110. I got 5.5 minus 120. I don't like that. Morgan Spooner, much love, says smash the 7Ks, Brewers money line for even money. Only thing Cubs can do is strike out. I like that. Oh, and Nutflush Allen says check the lineup for the Giants. Okay, I feel you. Okay, so then the Marlins first 5 is a question mark and a possibility. Big Daddy Boom says, don't worry, Jose. Quet says, we will beg Jimmy to let you back in if you don't get the plus unit. So, well, you guys, we'll see. If the group can come together in the name of Jose, there's a possibility there. Shlomi in the house. Great to see you. Okay. Ross Pitts, I did not, but great stuff. I wish I had him. Okay, let's go over this again. So I have interest in the Marlins first 5. I'm going to wait. I want public money to come in on the Padres. I think my favorite play on the board, Phillies first 5 plus 115. I really like the risk reward with this bet. Then the Matty Ice taint play of the day, Detroit, Baltimore first 5 under 5.5. And that is the taint play. And Nima says, do you think Marlins money line is a good bet? Look, Nima, it's so important as what number you get a bet. And at this point, let's just take a look at what the market move has been towards the Marlins full game. But they opened up at minus 181. They're now minus 159. So the Marlins were available at plus 165. They're now available at plus 146. I think that the best thing for you to do, Nima, and this takes discipline, is to wait. Public money will come in on the Padres, so you have to wait and be patient. And I would go about 10 minutes before first pitch and move on the Marlins if that's who you want. Okay, so taint play of the day, Detroit, Baltimore first 5 under 5.5, and the spreadsheet play of the day is Detroit minus 115. I have interest in the taint play of the day, but I want to study it a little more, so I'm going to put some asterisks right there. And I get the wrong Crawford. I get both looks. Then first 5 under 4.5, I'm going to pull the trigger on in Cardinals Pirates. First 5 under 4.5. Then I'm going to move on the Indians first 5 at a big plus price. I'm going to stay away from those unders in the first 5 under, full game under, as the market's moving heavily against me, so I'm going to trust that. I'm going to figure out how to bet Boston first 5 if I can get the juice down. If I can't get the juice down, then I may just stay off that spot. But I do think that Eovaldi at home with his splits against Fleming, with Fleming going up against a Red Sox team that lights him up, is it not a bad spot? Then I had interest in the Reds. I don't anymore. I'm taking that off. So no Reds Braves action for me. The Dirty K prop of the day is over 7.5 Burns strikeouts. Over 7.5 strikeouts for Burns. The Rusty Kuntz play of the day is Vladdy over 1.5 bases at minus 110. Jose's Say Hey play of the day, first 5 team total over 2.5 at minus 127. And right now, Jose's record on the show is 23-27, down 4.4 units with an ROI minus 8.80%. He has 11 bets left to get those 4.4 units back and be in the black if he wants to shave his mustache. It's up to him. Then Diamondbacks Giants, I am off. I'm on the Mariners first 4.5 minus a half at plus 115. There you have it. Turnsy says, I'll donate a month's profit for Jose and a twisty mustache to stay. Look, Jose knows what he has to do to stay. He has to succeed on the show or keep his mustache. It's very simple. It's very, very simple. If Jose wants to stay, if Jose wants to keep his job, Give us winners or keep your mustache. Simple, right, Jose?
It is. It really is. I mean, and I'm going to do it. And it's going to be great. I can't wait. August 31st is a big show. I hope everyone tunes in for that show. It's going to be a celebration, Jimmy. It's going to be a celebration of a job well done.
Look at the confidence. Look how serious he is.
Can we talk about something else real quick, too?
Yeah, absolutely. Of course we can. So there we go. There is your show for today. Thank you guys so much for joining us. I need a winning day badly. Yesterday was a very frustrating day. I believe that we can cash here today. I believe in us. Thank you guys so much for watching. We have huge shows on the channel, Pub Sports Radio today, 3 p.m. 3 p.m. Eastern. We have our golf show. Can't wait for that. Mr. Gokster hosting the Back Nine. At 4 p.m., we have Closing Line with Babano and C-Mac. TJ says, don't forget to support our guy, Mr. Gokster, on the Back Nine at 3 p.m. Eastern. And then tonight, Razor Sharp Picks Horse Racing Show. I will be jumping on as soon as the kids get to bed. So I'll be on the horse racing show. We're going to be hammering the Pick 5 at Assiniboia. And there you go. Thank you guys so much. Maybe we should give Jose, look at him just sadly sitting there. Maybe we should give him a chance here to hear what the fuck he has to say at the end of the show. Okay, Jose, what's up, man? What do you have to say?
No, thank you, Jimmy. I appreciate it. And so we're getting to have some of the sausage is made in the background too. But I sent you a StreamYard link last night, Jimmy. I don't know if you saw your phone. Me and Trusty, we ran an experiment with you.
Okay.
I made a bet, and I said that if I just send you a StreamYard link, unsolicited, no response, nothing like just the link, I thought you would join. And you did not join, unfortunately. And it hurt my feelings a little bit. I'm not going to lie to you.
Okay. All right.
That's all I had to say.
Just a random. What the hell happens if I touch that, man? Who knows? Who knows what
you join, you see me and Trusty and my friend Andrew celebrating me winning. That's what you see. Oh. And you also see me losing my mind, which I did lose my mind on that stream last night, which I hope everyone enjoyed.
Well, I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you. And everybody is supportive here of you, Jose. So.
Yeah, just be careful. Jose's army is coming. Maxwell is going to be a part of Jose's army.
All right. I apologize for not jumping on your random message.
It's okay. Next time.
Okay.
Maybe you'll see me again today at some point. Maybe I'll jump on a stream that you're on today because I learned a thing or two last night with my good friend Trusty too.
All right. Jose, can you please leche us out of here one time?
Again? Jimmy, I can't have this honor again. Are you?
Give us a nice leche.
Wow. This is a moment that I did not think would happen again. And also I got a compliment on it for being awkward last time. So I'm gonna do it again. Everyone, look at my new tattoo that I have on my hand. Everyone, make sure you go get your BBWs tonight. Shout out to Sharpie. Go get your bets cashed. Jimmy, you're gonna get some cracking in tonight. You're gonna race the horses.
It's that thing.
I experience, baby. It's experience. When you work it on yourself, you know how to do it. Everyone, leche a los